Most people I meet believe that restoring their health after 60 requires complicated treatments, expensive supplements, or exhausting routines. Yet I have seen something very different in my practice. Imagine standing in your kitchen, holding two ingredients you have known your entire life, and realizing they could help keep your heart beating stronger, your mind sharper, and even your skin and hair looking more alive. It sounds too simple to be true, and that is why most people overlook it. The danger is, while you search for complex answers, your body may quietly drift toward problems like rising blood pressure, poor circulation, and creeping fatigue, all of which can lead to something far more serious. I want you to know there is a gentler path. Tonight I will tell you about a mixture of pure olive oil and clove that can protect your heart, open your airways, balance your blood sugar, ease stubborn joint pain, calm your mind, and even give your skin and hair a second life. And the best part is, you can start without stepping outside your home. When I first learned of this combination, I dismissed it as another folk remedy. But I kept hearing about it from colleagues who had decades of clinical experience. Then, I looked at the science. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eugenol, the active compound in clove, works in remarkable harmony with the monounsaturated fats, vitamin E, and polyphenols found in high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Together, they calm inflammation, improve the elasticity of your blood vessels, and help your body use good cholesterol to produce hormones like testosterone that often decline after middle age. This is not theory. It is biochemistry your body understands. The outcome is smoother blood flow, lower harmful cholesterol, and a stronger defense against clots and plaque buildup. I have watched patients who once feared even mild exertion because of palpitations or dizziness begin to walk confidently again after a few weeks of using this mixture twice a week. Their hands and feet felt warmer, their heads clearer, and their hearts steadier. The shift was not dramatic like flipping a switch. It was quiet and steady, like the return of spring after a long winter. That is why I urge you not to underestimate simple remedies grounded in real evidence. The right combination, taken in the right way, can set off a chain of small victories inside your body that together make a profound difference. And this is only the beginning. Beyond its effect on the heart, the olive oil and clove mixture can also act as a natural shield for your airways, calming irritation and fighting off infections that often catch people off guard during colder months. In a moment, I will share how this works and why it may help you breathe easier at night. But for now, I want you to picture your own heart, not as an organ you rarely think about, but as the steady rhythm of your life. If you give it the right care, it will carry you further than you might believe possible. One of the most overlooked dangers for older adults, especially during the colder months, is how easily a simple tickle in the throat can spiral into something far more serious. I have seen it happen countless times. A light cough on Monday turns into labored breathing by Friday, and suddenly, a patient finds themselves in the hospital wondering how it all escalated so quickly. The truth is, as we age, the tissues lining our airways become more delicate, our immune defenses slower to respond, and our ability to clear irritants less efficient. This creates an open door for bacteria, viruses, and environmental particles to settle in and cause havoc. That is why I am always searching for safe, natural ways to keep these airways protected. To my surprise, one of the most effective tools I have found comes from the same humble combination I spoke about earlier: olive oil and clove prepared in just the right way. Let me explain why this works so well. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which researchers at the University of Pennsylvania have found to act much like ibuprofen in its ability to reduce inflammation. But instead of overwhelming your system the way some medications can, olive oil delivers its relief in a gentle, sustained manner, coating irritated tissues and soothing them almost immediately. Clove brings another powerful weapon to the fight: eugenol, a natural antiseptic and antioxidant capable of neutralizing harmful bacteria while reducing swelling in the delicate membranes of your throat and bronchial passages. Together, they create what I think of as a two-layer shield. Olive oil calms and lubricates, while clove actively cleans house, making it harder for infections to take hold. I recall a man in his late 60s who came to me after months of restless nights from a dry, persistent cough that no over-the-counter syrup could quiet. He was skeptical, but agreed to try a simple evening routine with this mixture, sipping it warm about half an hour before bed. Within a week, the harshness of his cough softened. By the third week, he was sleeping through the night, no longer jolted awake by fits of coughing or that burning itch in the throat. His energy improved not because the mixture was some kind of miracle, but because better sleep gave his body the chance to heal itself. What I love most about this approach is that the benefits go beyond fighting infection. The mild sedative qualities of olive oil, combined with clove's ability to relax smooth muscle in the respiratory tract, help the entire body shift into a more restful state. For older adults who have grown used to waking up tired, no matter how early they go to bed, this is a gift. When you breathe more easily and your nervous system is calmer, the quality of your sleep improves, and with it, your mood, memory, and resilience. That is why I encourage my patients to see this mixture not just as a treatment for when they are sick, but as part of a preventative rhythm, something they do to keep the airways open, the nights peaceful, and the mornings lighter. And just when you think the benefits end there, the same simple preparation can play a remarkable role in keeping your blood sugar balanced, protecting you from the silent damage that unstable glucose levels can cause over time. That I will explain next, because it may be the key to preserving your energy throughout the day and avoiding the post-meal crash so many people take for granted as just getting older. One of the most dangerous traps after middle age is believing that fatigue after a meal is normal. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard someone say, "I just need a nap after lunch," as if it were an inevitable part of getting older. But what many people do not realize is that this post-meal slump often points to an underlying problem with blood sugar control. Left unchecked, these silent swings can slowly damage blood vessels, strain the heart, and wear down the nervous system, paving the way for conditions like type 2 diabetes long before you ever see it on a lab report. The good news is that nature has given us tools that work with the body's own systems to restore balance, and once again, olive oil and clove are at the center of this quiet but powerful defense. Here is why this combination matters. High-quality olive oil contains a special group of polyphenols that slow the release of glucose into the bloodstream after you eat. Think of it as adding a gentle brake to your body's sugar response, preventing the sharp spikes that leave you feeling wired for a moment and drained shortly after. Studies from respected institutions like the University of Navarra have shown that regular use of extra virgin olive oil improves insulin sensitivity, helping your cells take in and use glucose more efficiently. Clove, for its part, brings a unique advantage. Its eugenol content, along with plant compounds called flavonoids, supports the pancreas in releasing insulin naturally, while also helping muscles absorb glucose for energy, rather than leaving it to float in the blood where it can cause harm. I worked with a woman in her early 70s who struggled with unpredictable energy. Some days she felt alert in the morning only to crash by mid-afternoon. She had not been diagnosed with diabetes, but her fasting blood sugar was creeping upward. We made one small change, adding a clove-infused olive oil mixture to her evening routine a few times a week. Within a month, she told me she no longer dreaded the afternoons. Her energy remained steady, her cravings for sweets diminished, and even her sleep improved. Her follow-up labs showed her blood sugar had dropped back into a healthier range without any medication. What I find most remarkable is how something so simple can influence so many systems at once. Balanced blood sugar does not just protect against diabetes. It preserves the brain's sharpness, shields the eyes, supports kidney health, and even helps regulate hormones that keep your mood and metabolism stable. And this is where the olive oil and clove mixture shines. It is not about quick fixes or chasing numbers, but about creating an environment inside your body where balance becomes the norm rather than the exception. Yet, there is another hidden gift in this combination, one that speaks directly to the aches, stiffness, and morning discomfort so many people accept as the price of aging. In the next part, I will share how this same mixture can ease joint pain, improve flexibility, and help you move with more confidence, turning what you thought was inevitable decline into something you can take control of. One of the surest signs that age is taking hold is the quiet stiffness that greets you in the morning. It is the kind of ache that makes you hesitate before getting out of bed, the tightness in your knees, or the dull burn across your lower back that seems to whisper, "Take it easy today." I have seen this slow erosion of mobility turn active, confident people into hesitant movers, afraid to climb stairs or walk long distances. The danger is not just the pain itself, but how it chips away at independence and quality of life. Yet what if I told you there is a way to calm those joints and help your body move more freely without leaning on heavy medication? This is where our unassuming blend of olive oil and clove steps in once again, proving it is far more than just a kitchen curiosity. You see, extra virgin olive oil is rich in polyphenols and a compound called oleocanthal, which research from the Monell Chemical Senses Center has shown to have anti-inflammatory properties similar to certain over-the-counter pain relievers. But unlike synthetic drugs that can strain the stomach or liver with long-term use, olive oil delivers its benefits through nourishing fats that feed your cells while reducing the inflammatory signals that keep joints swollen and sore. Clove brings its own arsenal to the fight eugenol and flavonoids that not only reduce inflammation, but also help preserve bone density and slow the thinning of cartilage. That means you are not just masking pain. You are working on the deeper structural health of your joints. I think of a retired firefighter I once treated. A man used to moving with purpose who had begun avoiding his morning walks because of aching hips and knees. We tried targeted stretching and light strength work, but his progress was slow. When we added a topical massage with warm olive oil and clove a few nights each week, something changed. Within a fortnight, his gait loosened. His steps grew longer, and his confidence returned. The warmth of the clove increased circulation to the tissues, while the olive oil penetrated deeply, soothing the very places where inflammation had taken root. He told me it felt as though his body was remembering how to move without resistance. For older adults, restoring that kind of ease is more than comfort. It is a safeguard against the cascade of health problems that come from inactivity. When you move without pain, you are more likely to keep your muscles strong, your balance sharp, and your heart engaged. That is why I see this mixture not as a standalone fix, but as part of a broader plan to keep you active for decades to come. And here is where the story takes an even more unexpected turn. The same mixture that strengthens the body's frame also has a way of lifting the mind, deepening rest, and rekindling a part of life many thought was gone for good. In the next part, I will share how olive oil and clove can steady the nervous system, improve sleep, and even restore male vitality in ways that surprise my patients and sometimes even me. There is a kind of tiredness that no amount of coffee can fix, the heaviness in your mind that makes it harder to focus, the restlessness that keeps you turning over in bed, the quiet erosion of confidence that comes when your body does not feel like your own anymore. I have watched many men in their 60s and 70s accept these changes as an unavoidable slide, when in truth they are often the result of a nervous system out of balance and hormone levels that have been quietly declining for years. The real danger is not only in how these shifts affect your health, but how they rob you of the drive to live fully. The answer, in part, may come from a source so simple you might dismiss it if you did not know the science behind it, the same olive oil and clove mixture we have been exploring together. Clove contains plant compounds like eugenol and certain flavonoids that have a natural calming effect on the nervous system. By easing the overactivity of certain nerve pathways, they help reduce the background hum of anxiety that can keep the mind in a state of alert long after the day is done. Olive oil, rich in monounsaturated fats such as oleic acid, plays a different but equally important role. In men, these healthy fats support the production of testosterone by providing the raw materials the body needs to convert cholesterol into this vital hormone. A study from the University of Córdoba found that men who regularly consumed high-quality olive oil had significantly better hormone profiles than those who relied on less healthy fats. One of my patients, a former high school coach in his late 60s, came to me frustrated by a loss of energy, trouble sleeping, and a waning interest in intimacy. We worked on improving his diet and exercise routine, but the breakthrough came when he began using the olive oil and clove mixture before bed a few nights each week. Within a month, he reported deeper sleep, more steady energy during the day, and, with a quiet smile, the return of a spark in his marriage he thought was gone for good. This was not because the mixture acted like a stimulant, but because it restored the foundation of his hormonal and nervous system health. Better sleep does more than lift mood. It sharpens memory, strengthens immunity, and keeps the heart and metabolism in sync. For older adults, it can mean the difference between simply getting through the day and actually feeling alive in it. And when hormonal balance is restored, the benefits ripple outward into every part of life, from clearer thinking to greater physical endurance. Still, the influence of this mixture is not limited to what you feel inside. In the next part, I will take you to the surface, to the skin you see in the mirror each morning, and show you how olive oil and clove can help it look healthier, smoother, and more resilient, turning back signs of aging in a way that feels as natural as it looks. One of the most visible reminders that time is passing stares back at you every morning in the mirror. Fine lines deepen, skin feels drier no matter how much lotion you use, and a dullness begins to replace the natural glow you once took for granted. These changes can feel discouraging, as though your skin is quietly declaring that its best days are behind it. The truth is, while some aging is inevitable, much of the dryness, loss of elasticity, and uneven tone is driven by inflammation, environmental stress, and the gradual breakdown of the skin's protective barrier. And here is where the same olive oil and clove mixture that works so well inside the body can offer a remarkable boost from the outside. Clove brings its potent eugenol to the skin, a compound with natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. It helps calm redness, reduce blemishes, and fade the darker spots that sun exposure and time tend to leave behind. Olive oil, on the other hand, offers a rich supply of vitamins A, E, and K nutrients that deeply moisturize, strengthen the skin's natural barrier, and encourage new cell growth. A review from the National Institutes of Health highlights how the antioxidants in olive oil help neutralize free radicals, slowing the oxidative stress that accelerates skin aging. When these two ingredients are blended, they create a synergy that both protects and repairs, allowing the skin to hold on to moisture and recover its natural smoothness. I think of a patient in her mid-70s who had nearly given up on topical treatments after years of trying expensive creams with little result. I encouraged her to try a simple mask using the clove-infused olive oil, applied gently to her face and neck for an hour before rinsing with warm water. She was skeptical, but within weeks, she noticed her skin felt softer. The fine lines around her mouth seemed less pronounced, and an old patch of irritation on her cheek had faded. It was not magic. It was the skin responding to nourishment it could actually use. What I love about this approach is that it does not fight the skin or force it to behave unnaturally. Instead, it supports the processes your body already knows, keeping the surface hydrated, encouraging healthy turnover of cells, and protecting against the daily insults of wind, sun, and pollution. And just as the skin begins to show renewed life, another part of your appearance stands to benefit as well. In the next part, we will look at how this same mixture can restore shine, strength, and fullness to your hair, helping it resist the thinning and brittleness that often come with age. For many people, hair loss creeps in so gradually they hardly notice it at first. A few extra strands in the brush, a widening part, a little more scalp visible in the bathroom mirror. Then, one day, it feels as though time has stolen a part of their identity. Thinning hair is not just a cosmetic concern. It can signal stress in the body, poor scalp health, or reduced circulation, all of which become more common with age. Left unaddressed, it often accelerates, leaving hair weaker, drier, and more prone to breakage. But here is the hopeful truth. By nourishing the scalp and follicles directly, you can slow, and in some cases even reverse, this process. Once again, the humble pairing of olive oil and clove proves itself more powerful than it appears. Olive oil delivers vitamin E and a host of antioxidants that shield the hair follicles from oxidative damage, the same kind of cellular stress that dulls the skin. It also penetrates the scalp to restore moisture, reducing the dryness and flakiness that weaken hair at its roots. Clove brings beta-carotene and bioactive compounds that increase blood flow beneath the scalp, ensuring the follicles receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to grow stronger hair. Research published in the International Journal of Trichology has shown that improved microcirculation to the scalp can significantly enhance hair density over time, and this mixture taps into that principle in a natural, accessible way. I recall a retired teacher in her late 60s who came to me discouraged by the steady thinning of her hair. She had tried shampoos promising miracles and even considered costly salon treatments, but nothing lasted. We introduced a simple routine: massaging the clove, infused olive oil into her scalp in the evening, and letting it work overnight before washing it out in the morning. Within a month, she noticed less shedding in the shower. Over the next several weeks, the fine new growth along her hairline began to fill in, and her hair felt thicker between her fingers. The change lifted her mood and gave her the confidence to stop hiding under hats. The beauty of this method is that it addresses the deeper reasons for thinning hair rather than chasing superficial fixes. It calms inflammation at the roots, nourishes the skin beneath the hair, and supports the body's natural growth cycle. And while we have spent these last sections exploring the many benefits of olive oil and clove, the real transformation happens when you know exactly how to prepare and use them for maximum effect. In the next part, I will walk you through the most effective ways to combine these two ingredients so that you can capture their full potential without waste or guesswork. One of the most common mistakes I see people make with natural remedies is assuming that if a little is good, more must be better. In reality, the difference between a helpful tonic and an ineffective or even irritating one often comes down to how it is prepared and when it is used. This is especially true for olive oil and clove. Too much clove can overwhelm the senses or irritate sensitive tissues, while poor quality olive oil can strip away many of the very compounds you are trying to capture. I have seen people give up on this mixture simply because they did not follow a method that allowed both ingredients to work together as they were meant to. That is why I want to guide you through the two most effective ways to prepare it, so you can trust that what you are making is both safe and potent. The first method is what I call the warm infusion. I use it when I want quick results, especially for relaxation or to ease discomfort before bed. The process is simple but precise. Steeping dried clove buds in hot water, just long enough to release their active compounds without burning them, then blending that fragrant liquid with pure olive oil. When taken about half an hour before bedtime once or twice a week, it can work like a gentle evening tonic, calming the nerves, aiding digestion, and setting the stage for deeper sleep. The warmth not only unlocks the clove's beneficial oils, but also helps the olive oil emulsify slightly, making the combination easier for your body to absorb. The second method, the cold infusion, is for those who want to integrate the mixture into daily life without a nightly ritual. This involves grinding clove into a fine powder and letting it rest in a jar of pure olive oil for a couple of days, in a cool, dark space. This slower process allows the active compounds to seep into the oil without heat, preserving delicate antioxidants that high temperatures can destroy. Once strained, the oil can be drizzled over cooked vegetables, blended into salad dressings, or even taken by the spoonful. This method does not deliver the same immediate soothing effect as the warm infusion, but it builds benefits gradually, quietly reinforcing your cardiovascular, digestive, and immune health. The real secret, as I tell my patients, is consistency. You do not need to use either method every day. In fact, a few times a week is enough to let your body draw from the nutrients without overloading your system. What matters most is making it a habit you can maintain. Over time, these small, repeated doses allow the mixture to weave itself into the rhythms of your health, supporting you quietly from within. Still, preparation is only part of the story. In the next part, I will show you how to apply this mixture in targeted ways, from soothing headaches to calming an irritated ear, so you can make the most of its versatility and keep it ready for the moments you need it most. What I love most about the olive oil and clove mixture is how it refuses to be limited to just one purpose. In medicine, we often talk about a single target treatment: a pill for blood pressure, a cream for a rash, a spray for congestion. But this simple blend offers something different: a set of tools your body can draw on in multiple ways, depending on what it needs. Over the years, I have found it invaluable, not just as something to take internally, but as a topical ally for some of the most common everyday discomforts that can erode quality of life if ignored. One of the first ways I recommend using it is for headaches, particularly the kind brought on by tension or poor circulation. I have sat across from countless patients rubbing their temples, telling me they feel as though a band is tightening around their head. In those cases, massaging a small amount of the cold-infused mixture into the forehead and temples before bed can ease that constriction. The olive oil carries the clove's warming compounds into the skin, increasing blood flow to the area while calming the underlying muscle tension. Often by morning, the dull throb has faded into a manageable hum or disappeared entirely. I also use it for the delicate and often neglected care of the ears. Mild inflammation or itching inside the ear canal can be soothed with a drop or two of the mixture once a day. The clove's antimicrobial properties help reduce the presence of bacteria or yeast, while the olive oil moisturizes and protects sensitive tissue. I have had patients who endured weeks of irritation from seasonal allergies or minor infections find relief in just a few days with this approach. Another overlooked benefit is oral health. For those with tender gums, recurring mouth sores, or stubborn bad breath, a diluted rinse made with this blend can work wonders. Swishing it gently for half a minute not only freshens the breath, but also calms inflammation in the oral tissues, creating a healthier environment for teeth and gums. Then there are the skin and scalp treatments. Blending the mixture with finely ground clove to create a thick paste makes an excellent mask for areas prone to dryness, dullness, or breakouts. Applied for an hour or two before rinsing, it clears pores, softens rough patches, and brightens the complexion without the harshness of chemical exfoliants. For the scalp, a gentle overnight massage with the infused oil feeds the follicles, reduces flakiness, and can gradually strengthen hair. Each of these uses draws on the same core properties: soothing inflammation, improving circulation, and nourishing tissue, but adapts them to different parts of the body. It is this versatility that has made the mixture a quiet staple in my own home. And when I think about all the patients who have regained comfort, confidence, and vitality by weaving this remedy into their lives, I am reminded that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most profound. In our final part, I will bring everything together: the science, the stories, and the practical steps, so you can decide exactly how to make olive oil and clove a lasting part of your own health journey. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and imagine your life a year from now. Picture waking up with steady energy, breathing easily, moving without hesitation, and seeing in the mirror a face and hair that reflect vitality rather than fatigue. These are not impossible dreams. They are the natural result of giving your body the kind of consistent, nourishing care it knows how to use. Olive oil and clove may seem too simple to hold such promise, but when you have seen, as I have, how they work in harmony inside the human body, you begin to understand why nature often outperforms complexity. We have talked about how this mixture strengthens the heart and circulation, protects the airways, steadies blood sugar, eases joint pain, calms the mind, restores hormonal balance, improves the skin, and supports healthy hair. We have seen how it can be prepared in ways that preserve its potency and adapted for specific needs, whether easing a headache, soothing an ear, refreshing the mouth, or nourishing the scalp. None of this is magic. It is the patient, steady application of compounds that science has validated and the body readily accepts. In my years of practice, I have learned that health is rarely transformed by one dramatic intervention. It is built, layer by layer, through small, deliberate choices repeated over time. Using the olive oil and clove mixture just a few times a week is not about chasing a quick fix. It is about creating a rhythm of care, that your body comes to rely on a rhythm that supports its own self-healing abilities. And the beauty is, you do not have to overhaul your life to begin. You only have to decide that you are worth the effort. If you have listened this far, I want to thank you for trusting me with your time and attention. I hope you will not let this knowledge sit idle. Try it. Feel the changes for yourself. Share it with someone who might need a reminder that aging does not have to mean decline. Because when we choose to nurture our bodies with what is good, simple, and true, we do more than preserve our health. We reclaim the joy of living fully at every age.